Hi everyone, this is AJ and welcome back to another episode of 12 Days of Christmas, day number 3. Today I'm going to be taking a look at and reviewing the movie Last Christmas with a little bit of controversy involved. So let's get to it. Okay, so Last Christmas, this film here, it came out in 2019. Here in the UK, we got it on November the 15th of 2019 with a 12A rating and a runtime of 1 hour and 43 minutes. Now, the film is directed by Paul Feig, who you may know. He's probably directed any film starring Melissa McCarthy, Bridesmaids, Spy, all that sort of stuff. Not my cup of tea as a director or the sort of films that he does, but nevertheless, I've watched this film. The film was actually written by, a story by Emma Thompson herself, who does have a starring role in the film, and she'd done the screenplay also with help from a couple of others. I'm surprised to find that out now myself after a couple of years of having watched this film. The main cast of this film, Emilia Clarke, who we know from Game of Thrones, plays Kate. Henry Golding, who has recently been seen in the G.I. Joe Origins movie Snake Eyes in the starring role, plays Tom. Michelle Yeoh stars as Santa, not the literal Santa. That's the name she takes for herself in the shop, in the shop that she runs. Emma Thompson plays Petra, who's Emilia Clarke's, Kate's mother. Now, this film, it follows Kate. She's a young lady with issues, shall we say. She's recently had an operation where she had heart disease and this sort of thing. And so she's going through a hard time. She works in this little Christmas shop in Covent Garden in central London. And while there, she sees this stranger outside just looking up, and she comes out, sees what he's looking at. He's looking at a bird, like a bird of prey that's in the rafters of Covent Garden, and they get to forming this relationship. He's quite odd. He cycles around. He hasn't got a mobile phone, all this sort of stuff. I don't really want to spoil the story for you in case you ain't seen this film, because there is a growth with the characters. There is a sort of ending I don't want to spoil if you haven't seen the film. So it's more of a mature Christmas film in the storytelling that it conveys. Some of the jokes sort of push the boundary of a 12A and maybe over. Emma Thompson as Petra, she plays, like I said, she plays the mother of Emilia Clarke. Now, their backstory is that her family, or Emilia Clarke's family, Kate's family, has come from former Yugoslavia during the war and moved over to this country years ago. And Emilia Clarke's character has grown up in this country. There is a point to this, and I'll come to it in a bit. So it's basically a sort of romantic comedy kind of a film with a little bit of a twist, a lot of heart, and this sort of a thing. Now, I've seen this film. It's probably my third viewing of this film. My wife likes it. We tend to watch it every Christmas time. Thus being that we've watched it again now. And I do enjoy this film. I do get a lot of enjoyment out of it. Now, Emilia Clarke as an actress, I can take her or leave her. I don't particularly like her in Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is a one and done watch for me. I didn't like her as Sarah Connor. But in this film, I've warmed to her role within this film. Henry Golding just steals every scene that he's in. He's fantastic. He's got a lot of charm, a lot of charisma, and the guy needs to get bigger roles, and it's unfortunate that Snake Eyes did flop for him. Michelle Yeoh is Michelle Yeoh. She's good in pretty much everything she does, and it's still good to see Emma Thompson about. Now, like I said, it's a fast-paced film. It's got wonderful music in it. Obviously, it relies on the music of George Lucas, given the title of the film, Last Christmas. Famous, did I say George Lucas? George Michael. What am I saying? It relies on the music of George Michael. Obviously, the film, the song "Last Christmas," big George Michael film, and George Michael plays a part. His music plays part throughout the film, in that she likes his music and all this sort of thing. So it gives an excuse to have that as the film's title and as the music narrative that goes through the film. It's a very enjoyable film. Don't get me wrong. It's paced nicely. It looks really nice. It's filmed really well. London, I know like the back of my hand itself. So everywhere that they are in the film, I can say, "Oh, that's there. They are." Do you know what I mean? So for me, it's like a walk around London itself. What Henry Golding says about look up, yes, I agree with that, because there's a lot to be seen in the architecture within London up high, so it's nice to have that kind of spoken about within the narrative of the film. I do have problems with the film, and I see the film aging quite badly, because there's a very strong political message behind this film, and that being Brexit. Brexit does play into the story of the film in a small way, not overly large, but even now, watching it now, it feels kind of dated and forced, that I'm being made to watch a sort of a negative spin on the Brexit stuff that went on, the sort of Brexit is bad type of thing. Regardless whether you were a Remainer or a Leaver or a Remainer, it doesn't matter. We are where we are. It is what it is. But I don't need stuff. Feel like I'm having stuff forced down my throat, and that's where this film starts to lose me now. I never really noticed it so much on the earlier viewings, but now that I'm paying more attention to it, I see it. I see the political messages, the political statements that this movie is making. Almost every relationship in the film is of mixed race. You've got Emma Thompson's other daughter is a lesbian in a mixed race relationship. No problem with that. Emilia Clarke herself, obviously Henry Golding, is a bit Asian himself, so you're looking at a mixed race relationship there. Michelle Yeoh, she's interested in this white foreign guy that comes into the store, so you're looking at a mixed relationship there. Emilia Clarke's best friend within the film is a sort of woman of Asian, like Indian descent, so to speak, with a husband who's a black guy. So again, you're looking at a mixed relationship there. Now, I'm not saying that there's a problem with this. There isn't, but overkill is overkill. And when it's every single relationship in the film, it's, with the exception of her parents, it's trying to force something on you that doesn't necessarily need to be forced. So it takes away from the Christmas aspect of this film, and unfortunately, this review has gone into this darker side now. Given that it's Christmas and these are meant to be light-hearted entertainment, this film is too political, too statemented, and I think over time that will have a knock-on effect with the film and how it's perceived by people, unfortunately. But other than that, it is a wonderful film with some wonderful performances. Like I said, Henry Golding steals the show. His appearances in the film become less and less, but in the narrative of the film, that becomes apparent as to why that happens. Like I said, I don't want to spoil the narrative, don't want to spoil the ending if you haven't seen the film, because it is a joy to watch. It is a very good film, and at least for the next few years, I'll probably get something out of it. But I'm worried that these scales are going to start going the other way with it, and yeah, do you know what I'm saying? Anyway, in the talking about how this film performed, it was made on a budget of $25 million, which is a very tiny amount of money for a film, but worldwide went on to gross 121.5 million. So after marketing and all that, the film would have made a profit, and good luck to it. It's an enjoyable film, one that I can recommend that you watch for now anyway. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is AJ. I know that's all very sort of, what I've said is very controversial, and I don't mean no disrespect by it to anyone or anything, but it's just what I see when I watch a film like this. It stands out, it shouts at me, this sort of stuff. It reeks of just messaging and trying to force an agenda onto you that should come naturally and shouldn't feel forced. In this film, it does feel forced, unfortunately. Anyway, this is AJ. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. All take care and goodbye.